Okay, so we have done the enculturation and the socialization process. And under the socialization process, we have covered different kind of socialization agents, right? Now, the next important term which is related to socio-cultural context, which is known as what? Acculturation. Now, do not confuse between enculturation and acculturation. Fine. There is a difference. Word enculturation is starting from letter E. So please don't be confused. And now we're going to study about another process. Acculturation, the word is starting from letter A, right? Now what is acculturation? It is a process, or you can say cultural and psychological changes resulting from contact with other cultures. Now, what is important thing? First of all, certain changes are there. As we can take out from the definition that there are certain changes. Now, what is the nature of those changes? Those changes are psychological and cultural in nature, right? And how these changes are achieved? Whenever we are contacting with other cultures, or we are in contact with other culture somehow. So acculturation refers to cultural and psychological changes resulting from contact with other cultures. Now what next? This contact word has many types. How come? This contact could be voluntary, right? This contact could be involuntary. This contact could be direct contact. This contact could be indirect also. So now let me just explain it one by one. If I say that this is a direct contact, what could be the example? When one moves and settles in a new culture, right? When someone moves and settles in another culture, suppose from India we are moving to any other country in the world for settling there. So this will be a direct contact, right? What will be the indirect contact? Indirect contact, it could be through media, right? There are various sources available in media. So by switching over to any source of media, you can come to know about the culture, about any other different culture. This contact is what? Indirect. Fine. Now other two types. One is voluntary contact. When I say this contact is voluntary, that means it is under your control. That means it is your wish. Maybe one goes abroad for higher studies, or for any kind of training, or for joining a new job, or doing any kind of business, right? So this will be what? A voluntary contact, because this is his or her wish. Nobody is forcing them, but they personally feel that they should settle in some other country, they should opt for some other culture. So this will be what? Voluntary contact. Now what are the examples of involuntary contact? Involuntary contact kab hoga? When there is a condition or situation, suppose political refuge is there, or colonial experience is there, or any kind of invasion is there. As in your history, you must have read that many immigrants are there. We have to move to some other country because of any political reason, any reason could be there, but we have to go and settle in different culture and in different country without uh, our wish, right? It is the situation which is driving us, or which is forcing us to move away from our own culture. As at the time of Indian independence, the partition was there in 1947, right? So many people have to leave certain place and get to other place beyond their wish. So it was what? Involuntary, beyond their control. Because of the circumstances and because of the political reasons, the people have to migrate, right? Now what would be the other example? Now let us take a very interesting example. During the British rule in India, Many individuals and groups adapted several aspects of British lifestyle. They prefer to go to English schools, they take up salaries for their jobs, they dress in English clothes, and they speak English language, and even they change their religion. Now, this is a very good and perfect example to understand the thing. What is acculturation? British rule was there before independence, before 1947, right? So, what Indian people are observing? They are observing the British people. Fine. The way they dress up, the way they speak, their religion, many Indians have converted to Christianity. Many Indians started eating English food. They start wearing English dresses. They were trying to speak English language, and they go forward. They were favoring the education system of Britishers. In India, we used to have gurukuls, right? We used to have ashrams, but who has introduced the modern education system in India? The Britishers. So that time, many Indians were in favor of joining those schools which were opened by the Britishers. And there was a proper system of job. Mainly clerical jobs were there. Clerical jobs were offered to Indians, right? So many Indians were interested in doing that job, and they are salaried for that. They got salary for it. So they were, trying to adapt and adjust with which culture? The British culture. The culture which is totally different from their own, that is Indian culture. Fine. So this is acculturation. Now let us come upon the features of acculturation. Acculturation can take place anytime in one's life. Whenever it occurs, it requires what? Relearning of norms, values, dispositions, and patterns of behavior. See, children, we have discussed these terms, these words in socialization process, right? In socialization, what we were doing, we were learning different knowledge. We were getting different knowledge. We were, acquiring different kind of dispositions. We were learning different kind of skills. So in the same manner, what is happening in acculturation? Relearning is there. We have learned something, right? And now we are relearning. We are learning again. What? All the things. Again, the dispositions means the way we behave, the tendency, our personal character, the skills, the norms, the values, and even our own patterns of behavior. How do we behave? Fine. So what is important feature? Relearning is there. Where? In acculturation. Now, if relearning is there, very obvious re-socialization will be there, as I just explained you, right? Whenever we are relearning, we are in a process of relearning, re-socialization is occurring automatically, right? In this process, we are learning all the things again from a new perspective, from a new point of view of any other culture, right? Like as in socialization, I talked about that there is a state of conflict whenever punishment is there. And yes, reward is also there. So two kind of conditions were there. In the same manner, children, in acculturation also, what is happening? Suppose I switched over to a different country, I have to adapt different culture, right? So what will be the conditions? There could be a state of conflict when I'm not able to adapt to it, right? When I'm not able to adjust to it, the new culture. Getting my point? Whenever this state is there, whenever this condition is there, what will arise? The conflict will arise between me and the new culture, right? Because I'm not able to adapt all the new things. I'm not, able to adjust to all the new things, the new life, the new kind of behavior. So a state of conflict will be there. Fine. And if on the other side, I'm quickly, adjust to the new situation, I start liking it, right? I start favoring it at the conscious level. Start merging into that new culture. Then there will be no state of conflict. There will be no kind of stress. There will be no kind of anxiety. So what will it term? It will be a smooth transition. Getting my point? Whenever you are adjusting and adapting very smoothly, so what it will be a smooth transition from one culture to different culture. But on the other side, if these things are not happening, a state of conflict will be there, right? A kind of stress will be there. This was clear about relearning, resocialization, and smooth transition and state of conflict. Now, what else? Psychologists have widely studied how people psychologically change during acculturation. For any acculturation to take place, contact with another cultural group is essential. What is important? If acculturation is happening, for that, what is important? What is the requirement? To contact with other culture. There should be some contact with other culture. Contact, I have explained you, could be in 4 forms: direct, indirect, voluntary, and involuntary. Fine. Now, one important thing, whenever we say that this process, social or cultural change oriented towards modernity, is unidirectional. What does it mean? Try to understand this. This is a little bit complex, little bit. Just try to understand. When I say there is a option available for you, fine, that you are living in a traditional way. So what researcher or psychologists have found, generally when there is a transition from traditional state to modern state, right, it is only unidirectional. It has never happened that people have switched over from modern thinking or from modern lifestyle to the traditional one. According to the psychologists or researchers. So it was earlier believed that it is unidirectional. Only transition is happening from traditional to modern lifestyle. What it was there, it was earlier happening there. Now gradually when researches were done, when psychologists and researchers have come up with different conclusions, they concluded that it is not unidirectional. There are many kind of options, or there are many kind of alternatives and strategies are available. People could opt for them. We're going to discuss about those strategies just in a short while, maybe today or maybe tomorrow. So the change is not unidirectional, but it is multi-directional. And I'm going to explain you about those multi-directions, how people opt different strategies to adjust to the different culture. So there are different kind of strategies. So that is why this process is multi-directional. Earlier it was considered unidirectional when we say that always there is a transition from traditional state to modernity. But no, this is multi-directional. Various other options are also available. Fine. Now the next thing is, changes due to acculturation may be examined at subjective and objective levels. Now what is important? 2 levels are there. Fine. Whenever we talk about that acculturation is taking place, or we want to examine it, right? We want to study it. So mainly it is happening on 2 levels. What is the first one? Subjective level. And second one is objective level, right? Now let us start discussing what is subjective level. Changes are often reflected in people's attitudes towards change. Whenever we talk about subjective level, what change is there? There is a change in people's attitude. Attitude, if I just ask you, what do you mean by it? We all use this word, we all understand also. So in a layman language, what is attitude? Simply you can say, ma'am, it is any kind of belief, it is any kind of opinion for any topic. For any topic, we have certain opinions, we have certain belief system, we have certain thinking process, right? So subjective level pe what is happening? There is a change in people's attitude, right, towards that change. So it is known as acculturation attitudes, simple. Now let us come upon the objective level. if I say that this acculturation is happening at objective level, what do I mean? It means that changes are reflected in people's day-to-day behaviors and activities. Just try to get the difference. Have you got it? In subjective level, what is happening? There is only a there is only you can say people's attitudes is changing, right? Only or belief system is happening at objective level. The people start showing that change in through their behavior, through their daily activities, right? So there is a great difference. Subjective पे तो हम सिर्फ सोच रहे हैं उसके बारे में, जो भी change हुआ है for next under the same topic, objective and subjective level. See, when we say that these indicators do not always show the conscious acceptance of change by individuals or groups. What does it mean? Suppose a woman has to shift from totally rural background to all of a sudden to a foreign country, right? So there she has to learn a lot of new things. She has to bring a lot of change in her personality, be it related to her dressing style, be it related to her speaking skills, be it related to her cooking style, right? So that woman has to opt all these changes. She has to learn all the things. She even has to wear the western outfit, but there is no conscious acceptance from that side. She does not willingly, from inside she is not at all comfortable in wearing the western dresses, but this is her, this is just a necessity, you can say. She has to opt that changes, or she has to get into that culture. So there is no conscious acceptance from her side. From deep inside, she doesn't want to change. She still want to wear those traditional clothes, but as per situations she has to follow, or she has to bring that change. So there is no conscious acceptance. So this is also a feature. You can explain this through a easy example. Fine. Rest of the things we're going to do it. I hope we're going to complete this tomorrow. Ma'am, we can stop with the recording. Yes, all of you, please turn on your videos.